Thursday evening, everyone. Weather for Weather Geeks time here on May the 7th, Thursday evening, a day that was a record tire here in Youngstown. We hit 85 earlier on today, tying the record high set back in 2015 years ago. It's exceptionally warm for May, of course, and the question is, how unusual is this? And real quickly, I want to look at some statistics here. Here's a rundown of the warmest first 7 days of May on record in Youngstown. 1949, number one on the list at 68.4 degrees. And interestingly enough, 2012, just 3 years ago, we had a warmer start to the month of May than this year. 2001, 2010, also on the list. And then way down here, now this does not count today's numbers, so this 2015 will rise on this list a little bit, but only 18th place in terms of the warmest start to the month of May here in Youngstown. But despite that, of course, it's still very warm. It's going to stay this way, it looks like, for a while. Breakdown of what's going on now, and of course the answer is not much. It's a beautiful evening. We have sunshine still in the 7 o'clock hour. We'll have a crystal clear sky for tonight. Now, a couple of areas of interest across the country tonight. One down here in the southeast, a tropical system that may or may not may get a name, may not. If it does, it'll be Anna. The impacts will be the same, whether it's named or not. It'll bring some heavy rain, some gusty winds to the beaches of the Carolinas, parts of Georgia, and into North Carolina as well. And this is going nowhere in a hurry. The steering currents down here are very, very weak, so they can expect a lousy weekend coming up in parts of coastal Carolina, the Carolinas, I should say, and maybe parts of Georgia as well. The other area of interest is because of severe weather out here across parts of Oklahoma, Texas, Kansas. And a big severe weather outbreak with a lot of tornadoes last night around Oklahoma City. Seeing similar stuff to the south of Oklahoma City this evening and tomorrow, and unfortunately into Saturday, looking pretty bad as well. Here's the day 2 outlook from the Storm Prediction Center. Moderate risk of severe weather in the same places they're getting hit tonight. So northern Texas, Oklahoma, parts of Kansas. That's tomorrow, and then check out Saturday's risk. Pretty much the same area, or maybe just a little east. So a couple of days worth of some pretty tough weather out there in the middle of the country. Now this system that's out here right now, as I put on the surface analysis, take off the satellite. This system right now may be a little hard to analyze. It's kind of a weak area of low pressure. This isn't going to have a whole lot of impact on our weather coming up. Our weather in the near term, quiet for the most part. Now that said, if you watched my forecast tonight on 21 News at 6, you did notice some small chances of precipitation in the forecast as we head towards the weekend, and I emphasize small. Well, why is that going to happen? Well, one thing for sure, tomorrow afternoon is going to be very warm. It's going to be very humid for May, once again. And that warm and humid air will make the atmosphere overall pretty unstable. Here's a look at the convective available potential energy, CAPE, for tomorrow afternoon, Friday afternoon. The NAM is showing values up over 1,000 joules per kilogram, and for those who are unfamiliar with this, 1,000, that's pretty unstable. Now, the issue here is, okay, we've got all this unstable, warm, juicy air around, but we don't have much of a trigger to cause the air to lift even more. There's no front coming through, anything like that. So what will happen tomorrow, I think, is there's going to be some really, really isolated activity that tries to pop late in the day. Here's a look at the NAM tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. Couple of cells that tries to pop. So we've got a 20% chance in our forecast of a stray late day shower. Do not cancel outdoor plans tomorrow because of that. Only the very few unlucky ones will get a late day quick shower. I do think as we head into the weekend, the chances for these pop-up late day showers will increase a little bit. Here's a look at late in the day on Saturday. Now this is the GFS, which is a coarser model. It's like having a camera that's a little older. Not as many megapixels. So the green blobs are bigger and overdone, certainly. It's not going to be as wet as it looks on here. But I think as we get into a Saturday evening, there can be a scattering of storms around. Probably the better chance be out to our west across Toledo, Lima, Mansfield, Cleveland. Here's the Cape again, moderately unstable with all the juice around on Saturday. And there's also going to be a minor little upper level disturbance kicking through. Here's a look at the 500 millibar chart up at about 18,000 feet. And notice, we've got some coloration here, and basically got a little weak impulse up at 18,000 feet, and sometimes that can be just enough to give the atmosphere a little bit of a boost to cause some thunderstorms. So again, bottom line for Saturday, most of the day dry, hot and humid, maybe a late day storm, especially west of Youngstown. We have Mother's Day coming up on Sunday, and here's a look at Sunday afternoon. Again, probably a modest chance of seeing a pop-up thunderstorm or two. There's actually a front that's trying to sneak in from the north this day. That may be just enough to increase the chance for precipitation a little bit. But even that, it's probably a 30% chance. So, things we just have to cover for, just to kind of cover our bases and alert you to the fact that, a lot of people are outdoors at this time of the year. It's a Mother's Day weekend coming up. And we want to make sure that you understand that while we can't guarantee a dry weekend because of that low chance of pop-up showers, for most of us, the weekend should be just fine. Just pack the sunscreen and get ready for some serious warmth this weekend. All right, as we transition into next week, here's a look at, this would be Tuesday. So a front comes through Monday night into Tuesday morning. And this is a decent front. On Tuesday, we have low pressure up here. Here's our front Tuesday morning, taking the showers away. High pressure out here to the west. So this builds in. I think Tuesday turns out to be a nice day, just not as humid, that's for sure. That's the first thing you'll notice. And it also won't be quite as warm. It'll still get above 70, but the humidity will be lower. This will set the stage for a midweek period that looks good. Just a fairly brief cooling trend here, I think, with a northerly wind. Midweek looks sunny, but as we take a look at the long-range temperature trends here, notice here's the temperatures for next week. Notice we kind of crater out here around Wednesday with a high in the lower 60s or maybe even upper 50s. So that's well below average, but it only lasts a day or two. By Thursday, we're back in the upper 60s, and then look what the latest GFS ensemble has in the longer range. We're right back to this way above average stuff for the last half of May, it looks like. So May's no doubt going to go in the record books as a warmer than average month. How warm, not sure yet, but certainly going to be a warmer than average May, and we had a warmer than average April, so that'll make 2 months in a row. It's practically a heat wave. All right, thanks for watching the Thursday night weather for Weather Geeks. I'll have another edition Friday afternoon. Hope you have a great night, and check out my forecast tonight with all of the numbers and all the details on 21 News at 11 o'clock. Have a great night.